Hey guys, welcome to another video. Thanks for joining me in this one. So in this video, I'll be sharing about 4 steps that I believe if you're an immigrant and your goal is to get established financially, I believe these are the first 4 steps you probably want to get started with. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, my name is Stephen Ojo. I'm originally from Nigeria. I moved to the United States back in 2010 and I'm on my own journey. I have my career and of course I also do things on the side to help me make some money. And I believe that's why we are here. That's why we're watching this video, to try to learn ways in which we can improve ourselves, make more money, and move forward. Now, I have my computer right in front of me. I have some notes right on there, and I'll be sharing some of the things that I've gathered together with you. So if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to see you in my next video. And of course, hopefully you can stay to the end of this one. Before I get into my notes, I want to share something just right from my own heart. One thing I want you to understand is it took me a long time to get things started. And one of the biggest factors that really held me back was just the doubt, the fear, and just what people would say. That's the truth about it. Now, and I'm not talking about just things that I've done on the side. I'm not talking about YouTube, but I'm talking about the things that I personally, I'm not talking about side hustles or whatever. I'm talking about things that personally I should have started with, but I just had my own doubts and fears from getting started. It took me a while. And that's something that I wish I could go back in time and just get done or start with at that time, because, time is very limited. We don't have a lot of time. In a typical day, we don't have the full day to ourselves. We have to do other things. We have other responsibilities that we are entitled to. And at the same time, we don't even have all the time in the world. Okay, so it's very important that we make use of our time when we realize that something needs to be done, something needs to change. We need to capture that moment and build from there. That leads me to my first point, all right? If we are seeking to become better, if we are seeking to establish ourselves and secure our future and just achieve our own goals and dreams, which whatever that may be for you, it doesn't matter. The first thing we need to do is to seek to be in the right place. Seek to be in the right place, and literally in the location. Now, a lot of times as immigrants, we want to be in, the fanciest places and, the name places that we've heard of or we've thought are great places where we would make a lot of money. But sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes being in those places is actually what is holding us back. I've heard stories of people that would spend years and time in a place that is, maybe it's a big city, for example, and they just feel like there's a lot of opportunities, but they are not getting those opportunities for whatever reason. And once they're able to change their location and move to a different place, next thing is boom, they have lots of opportunities available to them. It's very important not to position ourselves in a place where we feel like we have no choice but to be there. Because truth is, there are opportunities everywhere. We just need to look differently in different areas. And what worked for one person may not work for you. Just because you have a friend or someone that has been in that area and has worked for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you being there. So be willing to change your location and expand your horizon in line with that point. All right, you have to remember that if you're in a place where there's a lot of competition, it also drive prices down. What usually happens is when you have a lot of people competing for a job, for example, it means that the value, what you would make, what you will earn, goes down from that same job. That's just the truth about it. The point is, if there's so much demand for something and there's less supply of it, the value goes up. And if there's so much supply of something, right, the value goes down. Same thing for being in a location where there's a lot of competition. If you're trying to offer a service, if you're trying to do a side gig with a lot of competition, what will end up happening is that the value, the money you would earn from that thing goes down. That moves to my next point now. More chances of you waiting, all right? That's my next point. More chances of you waiting. If you are in a place with a lot of people trying to do the same thing you're trying to do, well, there's a chance that that opportunity may not be there, or you may end up waiting. Give you an example. If you're trying to sign up for Uber to be, a driver, or you're trying to do these food delivery things, what will happen if you're in very densely populated areas? You end up going on the wait list, and that thing can take you 6 months before you finally get an opportunity, because there's already people waiting ahead of you. If you're not willing to be in a place where may give you the opportunity that you need at a point, well, that opportunity keeps going by you because you're not willing to look in a different place. All right. The next thing in line with your location is you may actually look into small businesses, not you even starting business, because we are assuming that you're not really financially there yet to start a business of your own, but maybe you can actually partner or look for someone that has a business already and they're looking for a service and go in there and offer to meet the demand of that business owner. And sometimes we always think we have to be an expert in certain things, but it's usually what it takes is you actually knowing what is needed. When you know what is needed, then you go and do your research to see if you can meet that demand, if you can meet that service, if you can do that thing. Because a lot of times, right, give you an example, if you go to a place and they tell you that they need a data analyst, sometimes that blows a lot of people's mind, like data analyst. But trust me, there's variances of data analysts. And sometimes you may not have any clue about what a data analyst does, but next thing you shoot yourself in the foot and tell them that, no, you can't do that. But that's not true. You can do it. The reason why you can do it is because majority of places are looking for basic data analysis, right? Nothing super complicated. There are so many courses on Udemy. There's so many courses online, free by the way, that can teach you how to do simple data analysis. And that's all you probably would get you started in that field. So don't limit yourself. Sometimes it's all about walking into some of these small businesses and asking them what is available. And then you do your research and see if it's something that you can do or something that you're interested in. So moving on to my next point, trying to earn from two different sources. Very important. Try to earn from two different sources. The reason is because one will generally take your time. Your career, your job that you're doing will take your time. Find something else that will take less of your time. And I'm not talking about investing in stocks, even though that is an option. I'm not talking about investing in real estate, because that is something that you can do. But I'm talking about something that you can put in some of your work into. And that could be, for example, if you're good at writing, singing, designing. The other thing is renting out your space. If you have a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, renting out a space to make that extra money because it's not taking your time. Those are things that you can do, that while you're working your job and doing your job and making money from that, you have something else on the side that is also bringing some money for you without taking much of your time. Try to find something that you are interested in that will provide that value. Again, it doesn't have to be stocks. There's so many ways to invest money, time in, and then you get some return. You probably just need to look around you to find something. The next thing is to be flexible. And that kind of goes in line with my first point, all right? But being flexible in the sense that this is the time in your life to be willing to rent instead of buy. Because when you rent, you're able to move around, right? Again, it ties in line with my first point. But the other thing also is to be flexible with jobs, all right? Don't limit yourself to a particular job. Don't stick to one type of job. Try to move into different type of jobs that probably will pay you more, gives you more value for your time. And that is very important. Don't limit yourself because you feel like you don't have the skill or you don't have the knowledge, and then you limit yourself to that job. Try to apply for it. Let them tell you no. And if they tell you no, they will probably tell you what you're missing. They'll probably tell you lack experience, you lack the education. And from there, you can scale up by getting that information and getting that education, getting that qualification. But don't hold yourself back. Don't be the one to hold yourself back. Let the job be the one to tell you what you're missing, and then you go get that thing. Now, that job might not be available again, but a different company or a different employer may offer you that same position again, and even with more money. And that's the truth about it. And that's why you need to make sure that you are not shooting yourself in the foot by holding yourself back. Now, again, if it's not something you're interested in, that's a different case. But if it's something that you're interested in, then you keep applying in those areas, even though you may lack the qualification, but the dedication to pursue that field may push you in a direction that would help you, get the necessary qualification. Last but not least here is to look within, all right? Look within and find something you can offer. Now, when I say look within, I'm talking about look within you. As individuals, we have things that we are passionate about. We have things that we are looking to try, or we feel like we would want to do this at some point, but for some reason we just don't have the courage, we don't have the time, we don't have the ability to do it at that point. But that's probably, that's something that is burning within you that you probably need to just, cultivate and let it grow. All right. And that can be in form of a service, a skill, or abilities. You have to remember that not everybody will be able to speak and impress people. Not everybody will be able to write and get all the awards. But trust me, a lot of people are still writing and making money. A lot of people are still singing and making money, right? A lot of people have the ability to do certain things that not everyone else can do, and they are doing well in that area. So our goal is not necessarily to find that unique thing that nobody else can do. Our goal is to find that unique thing that we can do within ourselves and do it to the best of our abilities. All right. So as immigrants, our goal is to be able to put ourselves out there. And I think that is the most important point of this video. Our goal is to be able to put ourselves out there and be able to push the boundaries. All right. Because most of the time we are the ones holding ourselves back. We are always too scared to talk, too scared to walk into a place, too worried that, we don't know how things work here. So don't let me try. And those are some of the things that held me back. And that's something that you shouldn't let hold you back. It has no place for it. So it's very important that we challenge ourselves and push the boundaries. I hope that you have found value in this video, and I hope that you've gained something. If you have, please don't forget to drop a like. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'd love to see you in my next one.